Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Battleverse, where we break down the world's biggest military strategies and uncover the real power dynamics shaping the seas. Today, we're diving deep into China's aircraft carrier strategy and asking the big question, is the United States losing control of the oceans it once dominated? For decades, the U.S. Navy's supercarriers have been symbols of unmatched maritime dominance, sailing across every ocean and projecting American power globally. But China's rapid naval expansion is challenging this status quo, and their approach is strategic, deliberate, and aimed at long-term influence. When we observe the exterior of China's modern carriers, the first impression is how much they've evolved in design and sophistication. The Liaoning, China's first carrier, was originally a Soviet-era Kuznetsov-class vessel acquired from Ukraine and extensively refurbished. It served as both a training platform and a statement of intent. But the following carriers, such as the Shandong and the Fujian, tell a different story. They are built with domestic engineering, showing China's ability to produce high-tonnage warships without foreign assistance. The sleek flight decks, optimized island superstructures, and carefully shaped hulls are clear indicators of a focus on stealth, efficiency, and survivability. The Fujian stands out with its electromagnetic catapult launch system, similar to the U.S. Gerald or Ford class, replacing the older ski jump ramps and enabling the launch of heavier, more advanced aircraft at greater ranges. Inside these massive vessels, the interior design reflects a shift from older, cramped Soviet-inspired layouts to more modern, organized, and efficient configurations. The Fujian and Shandong have improved living quarters that enhance crew comfort during long deployments, along with integrated command centers equipped with advanced digital systems. These upgrades mean that officers can coordinate flight operations, surveillance, and combat missions with faster decision-making and better situational awareness. The improved crew efficiency translates directly into faster reaction times in combat and smoother handling of extended missions far from home waters. In terms of performance, China's carriers have advanced at a pace that has surprised many analysts. Early limitations with the ski jump launch method restricted the payloads and range of carrier-based aircraft, meaning they were less capable compared to U.S. equivalents. The adoption of electromagnetic catapults changes that entirely. Now, Chinese carriers can launch fully armed J-15 fighters and potentially newer carrier-based aircraft under development, giving them longer strike ranges and the ability to operate with heavier munitions and more fuel. This leap in capability expands their operational envelope, allowing them to support more aggressive and sustained operations. Coupled with modern escort ships like the Type 055 destroyer and a growing fleet of nuclear and diesel-electric submarines, China's carrier strike groups are becoming formidable instruments of power projection. Safety has been an increasing focus for China's naval designers. Modern damage control systems ensure that the vessel can sustain operations even after sustaining hits, with compartmentalized sections that reduce the risk of flooding spreading through the ship. Fire suppression systems have been upgraded to deal with the high risks associated with carrier operations, particularly on flight decks during intense launch and recovery cycles. Advanced radar-guided close-in weapon systems, layered missile defense networks, and electronic warfare countermeasures all work together to protect these massive ships from aerial and missile threats. Additionally, hardened communication systems ensure command and control are maintained even in electronic warfare environments, a critical factor in modern naval combat. What makes these carriers uniquely significant is not just their military hardware but the political weight they carry. Every deployment into the South China Sea or Western Pacific sends a message to neighboring nations and to Washington that Beijing is ready to defend its claims and expand its influence. These carriers are instruments of strategic signaling, as much about deterrence and political posturing as they are about actual combat readiness. The relatively rapid build times and lower costs compared to U.S. supercarriers give China an advantage in numbers, meaning that even if their individual carriers are not yet the equal of a U.S. Nimitz or Ford class, sheer quantity can begin to shift the balance over time. The cost factor plays a major role in China's naval expansion. Estimates suggest that their newest carriers cost between $8 to $12 billion each, significantly less than the Gerald or Ford class, which can cost upwards of $13 billion before factoring in aircraft and operational expenses. This cost efficiency allows China to potentially produce more carriers within the same time frame that the U.S. produces one, a strategic advantage in building and sustaining a larger fleet. While budget considerations are less restrictive for the U.S. than for many nations, the reality of maintenance, crew training, and operating expenses means that even Washington must consider cost efficiency, something China seems to be leveraging to its benefit. When looking at the broader strategic picture, China's aircraft carrier program is part of a much larger maritime vision. It is closely tied to their anti-access/area denial strategies, the Belt and Road Initiative's maritime component, and the goal of dominating the first and second island chains in the Pacific. The carriers act as mobile air bases that extend China's reach far beyond its shores, enabling them to protect shipping lanes, support overseas interests, and challenge rival navies in contested waters. This fits into a long-term goal of becoming a true blue water navy capable of operating globally, not just regionally. The United States still holds significant advantages, including decades of carrier warfare experience, global logistics and refueling networks, and a proven track record in integrating carrier strike groups into joint military operations. U.S. carriers are larger, can carry more aircraft, and are supported by a well-established system of bases and allies worldwide. However, the pace of China's advancements suggests that the U.S. can no longer take its dominance for granted. Each new Chinese carrier closes the gap in capability, and the symbolism of challenging the U.S. in its strongest domain cannot be ignored. In conclusion, China's aircraft carrier strategy is no longer just about catching up to the United States. It has evolved into a competitive, forward-looking program that aims to shift the balance of naval power in the Asia-Pacific and potentially beyond. The combination of advanced technology, cost efficiency, rapid production, and strategic deployment makes it a challenge that Washington must take seriously. While the U.S. still leads in experience and global reach, the trend lines are clear, the seas are becoming contested again, and the era of uncontested American naval dominance is coming to an end. The question now is not whether China will catch up, but how soon and how decisively it will alter the balance of power on the world's oceans.